Where did your brother bring her? He must have gone to his private area. Well, it's none of my business, as long as Wine doesn't live a good life, whether her brother locked or do whatever he desires. That's fine. Jewan sighed a breath of relief and raised corner of lips and smiled in satisfaction. Her mood seems to be clear all of a sudden, but then I didn't expect you to have such a good personal relationship with her. The man's voice shattered her. She turned back to see his son standing at kitchen's door, looking at her with his particularly deep eyes, as if he could see through her mind. Today he had thought for long and chose to listen to Yvonne's words. Because after all, she is his fiancée now. No matter what, he couldn't ignore her too much. Your relationship with Yvonne wasn't good, and at the moment when things came out, she may be a little impulsive that she will rob Kim family's property, but unexpectedly, as soon as he came here, he heard some conversation and they had mentioned your name. Unji, what's the matter with Hyul's brother that you guys are picking the topic of wine? It's not that his son doesn't know the hostile you won't have for you. It's just that past is just past and he's trying to move on like you do. Yvonne walked and held his arm. Oh, that gang Sing Yong seems to meet wine outside the mall and they went out for a date. His son raised his brow, let alone the scandal between you and Jungkook. Has you gone on a date with Sing Yeon? His son didn't believe it at all. It's not that. He didn't know what type of girl he had dated. Yvonne avoided his son's case. It should be, after all, she can have affairs everywhere she goes. She must like to hook up with rich men. His son. He didn't listen and walked towards exit direction. His son. She looked at his bag. Where are you going? I have cooked your favorite meal. I have matters to do at company. We'll be back later. You won't rush to stop him, his son. You will help Kim Group and me, right? You haven't forget your words, have you? She was panicking. His son stopped and looked at her. I haven't, rest assured. For the sake of his friendship, he had crossed his line to help her and turned his back to his actual love. Sure enough, he still has you in his heart, didn't he? For the sake of love, he should go against word, but he's doing the opposite. You won't clench her fists. For her, you are always a thorn in her life. She had always wanted to compete with you. For sure, it will ruin her happiness. If his son go back to you, the car sped up when he thought that you had been taken away by Kang Song Yun. He drove anxiously. Perhaps even he hates you. His love for you still remains the same like old love. All he think about is you shouldn't fall into the kind of man who can destroy your life. He dialed the number and make a call. Chairman Kang, good afternoon. He started politely. Mr. Lee? Mr. Kang was shocked, not even or, and he received two big shots calls in a row. Chairman Kang, I want to have a talk with Song Yoon. Where is he? It happens that President Joon also called. I'm afraid that Song Yoon didn't offend him and I tried to connect with him. His phone is off. Mr. Lee, please be careful. I want you to check Song Yoon behalf of me at his private house. Mr. Kang gives the address to his son. Mr. Kang also only hoping that his son would solve problems for his son. After all, John Jungkook and Lee his son are relatives and eventually he will take advantage of this fact. I will try my best to go and have a look. After getting address, Hisang hung up the phone. He speeded up his engine towards courtyard of Seungyeon's private house. The road wasn't much lit at this hours, but then there is much noise coming on this road suddenly, and several cars galloped at the fastest speeds. Made Hisang held his speed and watched 4 to 5 cars cracking the air. He narrowed his eyes. These people seems to be more anxious than him. Leave me. Songyun had been forcing you after he pulled you into his cars. You grabbed his hair and tried hard to pull away his disgusting face, no matter what. Such a method won't be useful. You stretch his faces, but there is no match of strength. Under a man's force, you could only do little harm for him, such a like you will beat or bite, but he will not stop there. After your resistance, he became more aggressive. You bite down his lips hard, your claws are almost torn off. No, Jungkook. After half an hour, loud noises came and people's surroundings are taken down. Sonyeon were beaten up and make him kneel down. What the heck? He was still talking back when Theung knocked him with his gun and walked around. Who do you think you are? The bodyguards are all knocked down by Theung's men. Why? No matter what, you had tried hard to save yourself. Running or limping, when you found your man coming and he covered you with his coat, you couldn't hold back your anger and rushed to kick Song Yun and vent your anger. You have big anger issues there. Hey, Miss Wine, you can rest assured now. Jimin calmed you down and Jungkook pulled you into his embrace while his large coat covered your body. I am going to beat this man to death, you roared. Jungkook shushed you and caressed your head. He forced me. The strong girl while ago started to sniff. The violent state of yours turned to softest after you heard your husband's voice. The man's body is full of hostile. Like a lava, he can explode any time soon. When he saw slapped marks on your face and that tattered clothes, ruined makeup, you have overestimated yourself, Mr. Kang, and you will pay for your stupidity and arrogance with your life. Tiong faked a laugh and pulled a trigger before he shot Seung-yeon's thigh. He screamed, "You dare to shoot people in private, you will lose your position. I will show you." Theung laughed arrogantly. "I'm saving people. An illegal man forcibly kidnapped a woman. I'm stopping the criminal. If criminal didn't cooperate with policeman, what should they do? The soldiers have the right to use the force to subdue the rebels first. Even Song Yun sued Theung in the military court. It will only bring trouble for Song Yun for himself, as Theung got full authority to take action. Song Yun gritted his teeth and held his bleeding thigh due to the fact that this guy had relied on his family's wealth, that he became arrogant and he had the nerve to fight. But after facing these three powerful men, Song-yeon had imagined he had no chance to win at all. Theung with gun, Jimin with full aura, and Jungkook with a girl in his embrace, looking at full volcano and not to mention some army force. And Joan's bodyguards all are ready for war. He had already destroyed surveillance cameras of this private property of Song Yoon's. You are bullied and almost. If it's in hands of Jungkook, this man should be dead by now. But Kyung control the situation because he is a policeman. Before he think as a friend's issue, he would carry the authority of military post. Jungkook is a tough guy when it comes to his belongings, let alone women. President June, what should I do? Theung asked. Jungkook chuckles in a most darkest way. He touched my wife. That should be only punishment that his future genes should be in vain. Hyung smirks and pulled down the bowl, walking around Seungyeon. Congratulations, Mr. Kang, you don't have to die. But Seungyeon steps back. What are you doing? They gives him two solution to be public and accept his guilt kidnapping and imprisoned affecting his family business as well. And second deal is to be private, lose his certain part of body that satisfies him. Although this is a little cruel, it will save his life after all. That part is not important as life. There was no reason for you to sympathize, but there is lingering fear. Let's go. Jungkook carried your handbag and pulled you outside the house. As your head is turning back to see what they would do, you heard gun fired and screamed. That was horrible. He sang smoked cigarettes and watched the show. It's really fast. He scoffed and revealed a cold smile. It's him or him. The girl is safe, that's all matter. For a businessman like Jones, who have multiple companies, it's inconvenient for him to show up on some occasions. But when he heard that his little wife has taken away, his blood boiled. This girl never obeyed him and made him angry. If something happens to you, what would he do? You didn't dare to make any sounds and sat beside him. He didn't talk for long. Let's her go to press conference. Jungkook stopped the car and get off walking to another car while Jimin sent you to press. There is a rumors about him and you, so he can't appear with you there. That will be too ostentatious. It was like telling the world that you both are in an relationship. Jungkook, you called out and poked your head out of window. He walked back and caressed your head. It's good that you are fine. Go and attend the press conference with Taeyong. He kissed your forehead. You don't have to worry about these things. I look forward to your performance in the press conference, Wine. He walked away with that kind of gentle whispers. For some reason, when your name comes out of his mouth, it sounds plain. As such as public figure, it was not good for him to get into this type of trouble. Chung Ha had already spread this news about you being kidnapped as told. So when it comes to Song Yeon's injury, it will only be you who injuries doing defense. Chung Ha anxiously wait outside the commercial reporter venue, praying to Lord that she will not argue with you, just bring you back safety, collapsing palm together devoutly. Squeak sounds came as cart stars rubbed against ground. When it stopped, Chanmei, you immediately get out of car and run towards her. Oh my wine, gosh. You both hugged each other, she cried. You okay? You had changed into something decent and looked feminist. That guy had messed up your mix up. Yeah, Jungkook came. He's really amazing. You didn't want to praise your husband at all, but it's the truth. I was so worried that anything will happen to you and your husband will blame me and kill me. It's okay, I'm fine. You patted her back to comfort the poor girl. That man should die. She cursed inside. She was wearing formal suit and card of reporter. Let's go. I had been waiting for long. If you didn't come with me, they will fire me. Okay, okay. You don't want her to be fired. You took a deep breath and walked with her. Jung and Jimin with few bodyguards followed you behind because sometimes words are not enough to convince to people. You have to show evidence. In any aspect, you will not be bullied by those people. You will take back everything that belongs to you. If Yvonne could do as she wished, then you could do as well, even better than her. In the press conference, camera started to flash and shines. Stood in front of podium and smile. First of all, thanks the all reporters for their concern and the given time in your busy schedule. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. You politely bowed. It was the first ever time that you had appeared personally to answer the doubt they had. Miss Vine, did anything happen to you? The cut on your lips and swelling cheeks are obvious. You smiled. I did encounter something this afternoon, but it had been already solved. Officer, Mr. Kim has taken action. The gratitude you have for Kim family because they had raised you, but you are sad for the period of times when you find out your background, but you are more sadder to know that your mother had passed away. You had always regarded Kim family as yours, even though something had happened years ago. Mrs. Kim asked you to move out. They were so mean. It was a prelude that Yvonne wanted to drove you out as well. All these things happen and you don't have such a memory because you had faced some accident back then. Kim family given the most disappointed answer, who you used to think as a family. The small person had taken so much pain in this life. Your intention was clear, you want your mother's property at any cost. They had turned things upside down. You need justice. After all, the person who had leaked the news already stood in front of this media. There was nothing to doubt, then why shameless people still wanted to deny the fact? I am the daughter of Miss Mint, and my father, Mr. Kim, knows the best. You clenched your fists. Moreover, I will ask a lawyer and so Kim family to the court. Since Kim family doesn't want to admit it, I want to show public and justify for me. They had spread negative rumors when was innocent. Your following words were sonorous and forceful, and the eyes are full of determination. You were young, but you had seen the world's evilness. If others bullied you, then you would fight back. At the beginning of your counterattack, reporters raised this sensitive topic and it becomes highlights. The TV station cut into live broadcast. Hundreds of people started to applaud your bravery and public voice started to stand on your sides. All you have to do was sit back and watch how they could turn the tables. Jimin and Taeyong with few bodyguards escort you in the living room. TV was on. Jungkook and Mr. Bang with maids were watching the news. Maids are praising their madam, being brave. Jungkook smirked proudly. That's my girl. He drinks wine. Mr. Bang was nervous sitting next to Jungkook. Madam is really awesome. Maid's words made Jungkook chuckles. Of course, he took it for granted. The admiration he had for his little wife made others happy as well. He had been very thoughtful and wise to make any decisions. He had taken back for a while. The stock market of Kim family have to suppress after all the loss of the Kim group to not relate it to you. You have his money to enjoy your life. After all, you love money and he's not short of that. Spring season and weather keep changing, sometimes sunny and sometimes cloudy. It started to rain. Way was blocked as your car drove. Yvonne angrily knocked your car window. Wine, come out. She was soaked. You get out of the car and few bodyguards followed. You wave your hands to stop them, and on the way, you had a little argument with Yvonne. The lady, who is beautiful and was in the outer manner, was in such a mess. Wine, you deliberately pretended to be pitiful to get sympathy from media, didn't you? She gritted her teeth and cried. You smiled disdainfully. It's you who squeezed few drops of tears to get sympathy of others, to get what I want, just a piece of cake for me. You smirk, you are a shameless person. She screams. You had always acted careless, whatever she did you unseen and even forgive you. But it's just a matter of times. You once thought you were just a dumb person, but now you suddenly asked for shares of Kim family. Mr. Kim had fainted due to pressure after knowing what you had said in the press conference, so you won rushed towards hospital and she couldn't hold back but wanted to curse you. Yuan had been always thoughtful and she talked about practical matter, but this time her luck didn't support her as you learn how to fight back. If it were in the past, you would definitely be soft hearted or acted as if you don't care, but now you will fight even you show them till they go bankrupt. You will do it in any cost. After all, you have money and power now. The person who was self-lying and be all innocent like, I don't need it anyway. What will I do with this money? Do I love this money and all I want is money? This time, Yvonne didn't dare to do to you as you had bodyguards behind you, looking like a little lady boss. You should thank your husband. Chungu came out in a bathrobe after taking shower. You looked at him, just a towel wrapped around your body. You had already taken warm bath after being soaked in the rain. He prepared ginger soup for you and he poured a drink of for himself. You looked at this charming man. I heard that my dad was admitted at hospital. He slightly raised his brow and take a sip. So you want to go to hospital to see him? I won't go. You sat on the bed with your hands on knees. He did such a thing. How can he expect me to forgive him when he drove me out of the Kim family? I had nowhere to go and he never cared about me. Then why should I care about him?